Hi, this is Fallon. I have recently made a life choice to change my life, to become the person that I think I am inside. I have decided to get vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I've always been the bigger girl. I've always been, for the majority of my life, the one who has a cute face. I've never been in the in crowd or in with the athletes or anything like that. I I grew up in South Louisiana with a family that loves to cook, and we don't cook for a family of 4 like I grew up in. We cook for a family of like 20. And we always did make the best meal choices. And so when I decided, probably when I was 17 or 18, I was going to do a really hardcore diet, and I did it. I lost a whole bunch of weight, did it in a very unhealthy manner. My hair started falling out. I mean, it was terrible. It was horrible. So at that point, I was okay with myself. I was happy with how I was. I had a social life. I had friends. I had boyfriends. It was fantastic. Um, you know, my sister got married. I was 25, 26, and I really loved how I looked then. Shortly after that, I moved to Texas, away from my family, and that is when the weight came on. I was in a totally different state, didn't know anybody, knew my boss. That was probably about it. And so, we all know what happens with boredom. We turn to our friend who never leaves us, our friend who's always there, our friend who doesn't judge, our friend who doesn't talk back, our friend who, whatever. Our friend is food. And in 2012, I decided, okay, I've had enough of this crap, enough of the excuses. I'm done. And so I decided to do MediFast. My sister had done it. She had gained some weight through medical school, and as a physician, she made the decision to start MediFast, and so we kind of did it together. And I had a really, really great turnout with MediFast. I lost like 75 pounds. I felt fantastic. I was ready to lose some more. And then towards the end of that, at the 75-pound mark is when I met my ex-boyfriend. And we were really happy, obviously not anymore, but we were. And so, of course, with happiness, you become stagnant. And in the beginning of our relationship, I still brought my food with me. When we went out to eat, I made fantastic choices. We went to his house, I brought my food, and I fixed my pre-portioned meals, and I was really on it. But then I got complacent, I got comfortable, and that's where I am today. I've gained every pound back that I've lost, plus some. I'm at probably my highest weight I've ever been in my life. We had our bio screens at work 2 weeks ago, and I weighed in at 281. And for me, that was a really, really hard number to see. Because when I look in the mirror, I don't, psychologically and in my brain, I don't think I look like that. I think I look like I did when I was 23, 24. Size 12, 14. That's what I see in my mind. And it's crazy. I've made this decision so that I can get control of my life. So that I can control not only what goes into my body, but how my body looks. And I'm the only one who can have control of that. And when I voiced this to my mother the other day, that I was thinking about this, she was not happy. She questioned me, and she says, why don't, she says, so before I get into that, I also have a medical condition. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which, excuse me, makes it very difficult to lose weight. But of course, like my doctor says, we don't know what came first, the PCOS or the weight gain. Or if the weight gain came first and then the PCOS. We'll never know. And as doctors, they don't know. So, but it does, the condition makes it difficult to lose weight. And I am living proof. Because other than, the nights where I really go off the deep end, once a week, I eat fairly decent. I'm not a carb-aholic anymore. I know carbs are not my friend. There's nothing better that I like than rice and a fried egg. I mean, that's what I grew up on. That's what my great-grandma cooked me in her kitchen in, Louisiana. And that's what we grew up on, and that's what we were accustomed to eating. But I also like to cook healthy. I love to cook healthy. I love baked chicken. I love grilled vegetables. I love salad. I love all these things, and that's what I eat on a day-to-day basis, like at lunch at work. But obviously what I'm doing is not good enough. It's not working. It's not enough of a push for me. It's not enough of a push for me to see the person that I see in my brain in the mirror. And I think that the only way I'll be able to see that person again is to have surgery. And that really hurts me to say. And, my parents are not small people. My mom was, fairly skinny when she and my dad got married. My dad was extremely skinny when he and my mom got married. And neither of them are skinny people anymore. But yet, when I told her I was thinking about this, she judged me. And that really pissed me off. I talked to my sister, who's a doctor again, about it prior to talking to my mom. And she was very, very supportive. And that felt really good. And I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but it's an emotional thing. It's an emotional decision. Because it's my life. And it's something that I've thought long and hard about. I considered the lap band. I'm not crazy about having a foreign object in my body for the rest of my life. I'm not crazy about going to get things readjusted. So I decided that, I wanted something that was going to be more permanent, more of an ease for me. And I have a friend of mine who recently had, the vertical gastric sleeve done, and she told me today that she would do it again in a heartbeat. I'm very anxious, but more so, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the possibility of the new me is. Because I've never seen myself like that for more than a year or so at a time. And I know this is not an easy fix. I know this is going to be hard, and I know it's going to be tough. But I know in the long run it's going to be worth it. So today I made the really, really great decision, and I contacted the doctor in which I want to do this surgery. I gave them all my insurance information. I've talked to my insurance company prior to calling the doctor. Luckily, my insurance company does cover, quite a large portion of this procedure. And that was a determining factor for me. Because, I'm a 9 to 5er, I live alone, I pay my own bills, so to know that my insurance company would fork a large portion of this was really the determining factor. Because I don't have tens of thousands of dollars to shell out. But it made it easier for me knowing that after I talked to my mom, who was so pissed, which made me pissed off, that my sister talked to her. My sister told her, this is her life. This is her mortality. This is her decision. And, she'll do it with you or without you. But I know my mom way too well. She will be here. Come rain, shine, hail, or high water. She's going to be here for the surgery. So I know that next I need to talk to the office manager. I need to get my records from my OBGYN, because I don't have a general practitioner. I've never seen a general practitioner, so I was like 18. And then they're requesting records of other weight loss things that I've tried, non-surgical weight loss tactics I've tried. So I'll get those records from Medifast. So, was it an easy decision to come to? No. Do I think it's worth it? Yeah. I think it's worth it to get my life back. To get me back. Because this person is not me. This is not who I feel like I am inside. This is not who I feel like I'm in my brain. This is not who I feel like my friends see. This is not who I think my colleagues see. And I'm always been, told, like when I tell my sister how much I weighed, she was like, there's just no way. You carry your weight so well. I am so tired of hearing that fucking sentence that I could scream. Sorry for the cursing. But it's a heart-wrenching decision. And I know I'm sitting here thinking, am I really going to do this? Am I really going to do this? Am I going to call my bluff the morning of surgery? If it gets that far. Which I pray it gets that far. Because I want this for me. I want, because I'm not married. I've never been married. I would one day want to see a skinny me in a wedding dress. That's insane. To think that all these years, when my ex and I were talking about getting married, I started looking at wedding dresses and I had to look in the plus sizes. And I could possibly not have to do that anymore. And, I think to get to my healthy range, I'm going to need to lose about 125 pounds. And in all the vlogs I've watched and all the blogs I've read, they have been such an inspiration to me. They have been an invaluable wealth of knowledge. And I can't say thank you enough to all those women and men out there who have posted their life stories and have, I guess, given me the little nudge I needed to really consider this for me, for my health, for my life, for my future. So I'll record again when I hear back from the doctor and doctor's office and know what my next steps are. And I guess we'll just kind of take it a day at a time. I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea of the time frame. I'd like to get this done before the end of 2014. So that 2015 can be a fantastic, healthy, amazing year. I'd like to look back, maybe at Thanksgiving pictures of this year, if I have it done around Thanksgiving or Christmas, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and to be able to look at it next Christmas in a totally different body, the same body, but skinnier body, and a healthier body. I know damn well I'll never be like a size 6 or 8. I can't imagine that. The smallest I can imagine myself is being a 12, 14. But who knows? I mean, I have no idea. I don't know what to expect of how fast it's going to come off and how I can't imagine. I just can't wait to the day I can go to the gym and know that the way I'm busting my ass is going to pay off. All the sweat that I'm dripping off, all the fat that I'm crying off is actually going to go somewhere, and it's going to stay gone because I want it to stay gone, because I've altered my body for it to stay gone, because I'm not happy in this body. I'm not happy at 280 pounds. That's unfathomable to me. I can't imagine myself now. I'm in like a size 22, 24, like a 2 to 3X shirt. I can't imagine wearing a size large shirt. Can't imagine it. But I know it's going to come to fruition because I'm going to work my ass off for it. So, thank you for listening to my rant and my cussing and all my coon-assness. But, it's July 7th, 2014. So I don't know when I'm going to record again. I guess it all depends on when I hear back from the doctor's office. And we'll know what our next steps are. I'm petrified. I'm excited. I'm scared to death. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I want it to hurry up and get here. I want this fat to be gone. But I know it's going to take time. I know it's going to take dedication. But I'm ready to do it. So, until next time, bye.